Hey everyone, it's Matt from TalentSherpas. How are you? Just wanted to take a moment here to share a little bit about my thoughts about interviewing successfully. So over the last few months, I've had the opportunity to speak with over 50 people that are looking for jobs. And these are people that are looking to transform their careers, to up-level their job within their current company. It can be a variety of things. So if that sounds like you, someone who's looking to find a better opportunity, either externally or internally at your company, and are looking for some quick pointers about how to do that, that's what I'm here to share today. So wanted to share a couple of quick, impactful things that I think could be useful to you if you're in that situation. So the first thing that I see that a lot of people do, and it's easy to improve, is around preparation. So many candidates come into interviews and they're not prepared. They haven't taken the time to look at the company, the basic things, the website, the mission of the company, the values of the company, and really to think deeply about it. So these are kind of basic, common things that people should be doing, but often they're not. And it becomes really clear in the interview when that comes out. So my quick tip there is really to do that basic preparation, but then beyond that, think about the why behind the role. So what do I mean by that? A company has posted a role to be open for a reason. Think deeply about what problem they're trying to solve with that role. What would happen if that person were never hired? What would that look like? That's going to unlock some deeper thinking to help you position your background as the solution to that role. So many people look at it as a candidate and a hiring manager. You're interviewing, you're trying to get a job. I want you to shift that mindset to think about a company that has a problem to be solved and how your experience is the solution to that role. So that subtle and fundamental reframe can really help you position your experience better in the interview. So that's point number one. Sufficient preparation is going to really help you shine in the interview and talk about your experiences. The next piece I'll talk about is the communication piece. So this is a big one. It's a huge topic. I could go on this for a long time, but really want to highlight a few key things that I think are useful for folks today. So when I meet with candidates and people that are looking to transform their careers, they'll often follow one common pattern that does not set them up for success. And what do I mean by that? I mean, they'll give a transactional, chronological view of what they've done. So an example might be, tell me about yourself. Very common interview question. An answer from those candidates might sound something like this. I graduated in 1992. I worked at this company. I got a specific job. I worked there for 3 years. Then I went to a different company. I got that job. And you can hear there that you don't know where the destination is. So an interviewer, they cannot respond and process to what you're sharing when you share it in that way. So here's an alternative method I like to recommend for people to really highlight their experiences in a clearer, much more concise way. So what you need to do is to start with a headline first. Tell me about what you are today, not what you were 15 years ago when you started your career or 10 years ago, whatever that looks like for you. Tell me what you are today, and that can be anything. I'm a strategic project manager with over 16 years of experience that's passionate about innovation. Great, that's one headline. It can be whatever resonates with you, but it's your headline that you would give about yourself today. Then you want to give them 3 examples from your past that highlight that. So let me give you 3 examples of what that looks like. And then you want to follow that up with the why for that job or that role. So putting that all together, what does that look like? It looks something like this. So I'm a strategic project manager with over 16 years of experience. I want to highlight exactly 3 examples that show that experience. Example A, example B, and example C. That's why I'm interested in this role, because I've read about that this company needs those things, and that's what I can deliver in the role. So just a quick example of the framing that works better. Rather than giving me a list of things that you've done, make sure to talk about your headline, some examples, and your why for the role there. All right, so that's the second one there. The next one I want to talk about is failing to ask questions. So this is an area where I see candidates fall down a lot in the interview. So at the end, it's very common for a hiring manager to ask, do you have any questions? And a poor candidate interview or answer might go something like this. No, I don't have any questions. The problem with that is that it shows the hiring manager that you haven't really been thinking critically about the role or how you might work in that company. So what you don't want to do is ask no questions. You at minimum want to ask a couple of questions. The next level is, what kind of questions are you asking? So one of the challenges there is that a lot of candidates, they'll ask transactional questions. So what do I mean by that? An example of a transactional question are things like, what is the salary for the role? What does the promotion path look like? What technologies do I get to work on? So these are all good questions. The problem is that they're asked at the end of the interview, and A, the interviewer may not have a good answer for them, and then B, even if they do, they're probably not going to tell you anything you couldn't find out through listening or through researching on the web on your own. So it's really a wasted opportunity to help sell yourself even more at the end of the interview. So here's what I like to do that's a little bit different. So at the end of an interview, when I'm asked, do you have any questions? What I actually do is start with a statement, right? And that statement can be anything. It can show some research that you've done, a thought that you have around the space, an idea or concept, and then use that to ask your question. So here's an example of what that might sound. And again, this ties into the preparation piece that I mentioned earlier. So let's say I'm interviewing for a company. It's very easy for most larger companies to research like, what products do they have? What competitors do they have? Some of those basic questions, thinking about the company, the role, and the opportunity. So what I would do is ask them a question like this. I've seen a recent news alert by one of your competitors who announced this specific thing. I'm wondering how that impacts your product and this role. So that's just one simple example there, but you want to highlight that you're showing you're paying attention to their competitors, you're thinking about the space that they're in. This is someone, as a candidate, you're showing up as prepared, interested, and engaged, right? And that's ultimately what you want to do to have a successful interview. So to recap here, I've shared 3 things that I hope are going to be useful to everyone today. One is taking time to prepare, making sure you review what's available and think about the why behind the role. Why is it open? What problem are they looking to solve? Second thing is around communicating using the framework. So tell me the destination, give me some examples, and then tell me the why. Tell me how, what, and then why. And then lastly, asking better strategic questions. So when you marry all these things together, this is exactly what helps you stand out as a candidate to get that dream opportunity. So these are powerful but subtle techniques that not every candidate is using. And so I hope that you truly find these useful in your upcoming interviews as well. If you found this video useful, I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. It does really help our channel. So go ahead and click that like button below if you would be so kind to do so. And if you're interested in one-on-one consultation, I also make those available as well. You can find more information in the link below. My time is available, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Thanks so much.